What's going on, guys? The Ironcane here, back for another Dragon Ball: The Breaker Season 3 video. And in today's video, with the Ginyu Force being out for quite some time now, a couple weeks, I feel like it is now about that time to do a tier list for the Raiders. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Raiders in the game. I feel like the game is now feeling a lot more fresh. The fact that we have 5 Raiders, and once we get 6 with Season 4, it'll be really exciting. But some Raiders have moved up, some Raiders have moved down since the new gauge system. And of course, I know a lot of you are excited to see where the Ginyu Force and all their members will land in terms of the tier list. But before we go into this tier list, I wanted to show you guys where the previous tier list placed our other Raiders. So let's get this pulled up. Do 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 do. Let me just move myself. Alright, so for the last tier list, I put 8 Vegeta in the tier of his own. Just because I felt like 8 Vegeta is very, very strong, and it's almost impossible to defeat or like come back against a level 4 8 Vegeta. With like, I don't know, like you need like a whole team basically in the Super Time Machine to be like cooking to make a comeback on the 8 Vegeta. And it's very hard to kill them as well. So for Z, I had Super Buu. For S, I had the other level 4s. For A, I had those characters. B, I had Saibaman. I feel like I'm definitely going to change that. I don't know why I had the Saibaman in B. I think the reason why I had the Saibaman in B is just because I felt like it was a free level up and you could instantly down a survivor and level up. I valued that very high. I think to put the Saibaman above level 3 Frieza, or level 3 Cell, level 2 and level 1 Frieza is a little crazy. So I'll probably change that around, but I just wanted to show you guys the previous tier list and see how we change things around this time. So let's go ahead and pull up the new tier list. Okay. Alright, so here we are. We got the new tier list here. I feel like just to start us off and to make it super easy and clean, I still think Super Buu is Z tier. I still think Super Buu is Z tier, and I'm going to explain why in a sec. So the reason why I think Super Buu is Z tier is because he literally has no bad skills in his kit. Angry Shout is a great knockback. Key Detection is a great way to find and flesh out survivors. Bomber is really good. It's the only skill, and the only active skill in the game that allows you to be invincible for a pretty long time and invisible. I said it, invisible twice. Anyways, yeah, this ability is really good, right? Allows you to sneak up on survivors, allows you to escape if you need to do that. And like, Super Buu just has so many options. And of course, Go-Go Gum is here as well. Go-Go Gum is just a really good active skill. You're able to spam Ki Blast when people are calling Go-Go Gum. You're able to do a melee combo. You're able to land on one of his fantastic super attacks, the Full Power Energy Blast Volley, which shreds Dragon Changes just as much as the old volley did on the survivor side. Ill Rain is really good. It's a multi-purpose super attack that allows you to find survivors that like you can't locate. It will lock on to survivors. So say if you couldn't find them with Ki Sense, you could pop Ill Rain and it'll show you where they are, or the general direction of where they are. And it's a great super attack to deal damage. And his passives, you know, pretty solid here, nothing game breaking, but it's really just his Ki Blasts are fantastic. They don't have any counter. Go-Go Gum is really good. Bomber is really good. Key Detection is really good. All of his actives are great. All of his super attacks are great. There aren't really any flaws with Super Buu. The only flaw I could say that he has is the fact that he has no sniping capabilities. So say if there is a transfer, if there's a survivor summoning via a dragon pedestal, Super Buu doesn't really have an option to snipe that. Like he could toss Ill Bomber, but he doesn't have a snipe that can just immediately get them off, right? That's the only thing he doesn't have. He does not have a snipe. That's the only bad thing he has. All right, so let's move on here. What are we gonna move on to next? You know what? I think we'll do Guldo next. Alright, so next up, we were going to do Guldo Gaming Incorporated himself. Now, I feel like Guldo is one of the better level 1s in the game. His issue isn't necessarily his kit. I think it's his health pool. And it makes sense to why his health pool is so low. He's a level 1. His Ki Blasts aren't that great, but he has some decent offensive options. So we're going to look at his kit in a second here. I don't think Guldo's any higher than B. But I think he's a solid... You could put him in C, but I don't think he's any higher than B. So the reason why I have Guldo in B is because he's the only level 1 in the game that has an evasive or a knockback based ability. Okay. So it has a 40-second cooldown, so if you're in a fight, you're not realistically going to be using this twice. So if you get into a fight, use Time Freeze, you're going to have to, you know, survive or like time out the survivor's transformations until you unlock it again. But the fact that he is a level 1 with an evasive or knockback based ability is really good. You can use this a lot of ways. Like say if the survivors are chasing you and trying to stop you from getting a Civ kill, you could pop Time Freeze, just kill the Civ and level up, and then take out the survivors that are in the area as well. Edit that out. I paused. In terms of his super attacks, he has full power energy blast volley. It's a weaker version. It's not that great. It is okay. It is okay. But if you freeze somebody, get in their face, and then pop it, it can deal a lot of damage. And one of the most unique skills that Guldo has is the paralysis super attack. This is the only skill in the entire game that can counter energy field and instant transmission. The only Raider level that can counter instant transmission and barrier combined is paralysis. If you see a survivor using energy field, all you have to do is pop paralysis on them and they will not be able to move. And as soon as the barrier goes away, you can just take them out. So it's a very good way to counter that ability. And he's the only Raider level and the only Raider, the Ginyu Force Raider is the only Raider that can do this. So I feel like for that alone, Guldo deserves his spot in B. Paralysis can stop barrier. It can. I can. Doesn't body chains go through it too? I'm not sure about that, Lonk. I'm not entirely sure. Alright, who do we want to talk about next? Alright, next up, I think we're going to do the Saibaman. Now, the Saibaman I placed really high last time, and I feel like over time of me like using the Saibaman, fighting the Saibaman, I feel like the Saibaman is a very quirky level 1 where you have the potential to get an instant level 2 depending on how good the survivors are. But if you are going up against a good team, you know, the Saibaman is probably getting taken out every single time. Like literally, all you need to do for a Saibaman is land a stun ability, hit a super attack, and half their health bar is gone, right? Saibaman are fairly easy to take care of, but they are easy to be down by as well. The Saibaman grab can come out pretty unexpectedly, and there are some skilled strats that you can do with Saibaman where, like, say if you're chasing the Saibaman and there's a wall, they can jump on the wall, turn around, and grab you. So you could argue maybe you could put them in C, but like low C. But the reason why I'm putting them in D is just because, like, their Ki Blast sucks. They have a melee attack, it's an instant down, but let's take a look at their abilities here really quick. So the Saibaman. So they have regrowth, will allow them to teleport across the map. Unfortunately, this move does not unlock until 45 seconds pass. You do not instantly have this active skill for some reason. I guess the devs thought it would be a little overpowered if somebody walks over one of the Saibaman planting spots. Without a dragon change, you get them and it's probably an instant level 2 every time. So that's probably the reasoning for that. But the acid skill that the Saibaman possesses is very, very strong. And if the Saibaman lives, obviously it's very strong for Nappa for this reason. So what the acid does is that it immobilizes, not completely immobilizes survivors, but if you're transformed or in your base survivor form, you cannot attack, you can only do this slow, like, walk, like, run. You can't use any active skills. You can't fight. You can't fly. You can't do anything. So if the Saibaman lands acid, they're more than likely going to explode on you. So it's pretty much an instant death. Besides this, he has, like, a wall kick, shared intel where you can find survivors, and the self-destruct ability as well. In terms of super attacks, he has none. He has none. So he's one of the only level 1s in the game besides Larva Cell that does not have a super attack. So that's why I feel like he is in D, but he would be in high D. He would be in high D. So next up in D, I think it's pretty obvious that our Larva Cell belongs here. Now, Larva Cell is the first level 1 that's been introduced in the game. Now, I think it's pretty obvious why Larva Cell is level 1. The only, like, good thing about Larva Cell is the fact that he can't be killed. I mean, technically he can, but the likelihood of you killing Larva Cell is very low. But the thing about it is that it's basically a free level 2, right? I did get cooked by Larva Cell. I will not lie. I did get cooked by Larva Cell. There is footage of it. I don't think I will include it here for my pride's sake. But the larva, I feel like the attack speed was slightly increased because the Larva Cell attacked me like Rock Lee, like, dropped his weights and attacked Gaara. I swear to God, like, the way he jumped on me and he pounced on me, like, from 4 different angles in, like, 5 seconds, it was insane. But I might include the clip. Maybe. We'll see. But obviously, Larva Cell, it can't fight unless, like, you're going up against a survivor without a Dragon Change. If you have a Dragon Change and you die to Larva Cell, you're... Wait.
Here comes a pain.
The fuck? Did he use a floating device?
Stay calm. Stay calm. Ah, you bastard.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Oh, man.
Huh? Yeah, I'm fine, man. Wait, I died to Larva Cell with a Dragon Change. Well, if you died to Larva Cell with a Dragon Change, you're trash. I'm trash as well, okay? I'm in that boat, dude. I am also trash, okay? I can be trash on occasion. But anyways, we're moving on, bro. We're moving on. We're moving on, dude. So, next up, let's do... let's do level 1 Frieza. So, level 1 Frieza, I would say next to Guldo is probably one of the better level 1s in the game. Now, is he better than Guldo? I will say yes. Just because he is not getting killed as often as Guldo does. And that's mainly to do with his health pool. Keep in mind, Frieza does have some pretty solid super attacks at level 1. In terms of his super attacks, he has the Supernova. This one is pretty trash. This one is not that great. He has the Death Wave, however. This does have tracking and it deals decent damage as well. And his melee is actually very good. It's very spammable. You can just spam it. It's very similar to Nappa's melee. And in terms of his actives, he has the Scouter, which will allow him to find survivors and civilians more easily. He has Zarbon the Door that will allow him to find survivors and use them to attack as well. And his passive skills are the same across the board. Frieza has the best passive skills in the game from any raider. He's very cracked in that regard. But some of the chat is saying I could put him in A. I don't think he's good enough to put in A. I personally do not think he's good enough to put in A. I mean, we could reconsider later. I think he would be low A. Chat is telling me to do that. I am streaming this live on twitch.tv/Ironcane just because I want to get the chat's thoughts. I will keep him high B for now, but we could move him up to A later. But let's move on to... We did Cell. I think we've touched... Actually, Spopovich. Okay, Spopovich. Honestly, with Spopovich, I feel like, I don't know. Does this make sense? I feel like the reason why I would have put him here is because if you die as Spopovich, you lose the game, right? You're not going to lose as Cell Larva. It's very, like, that it just doesn't happen anymore, especially with the larva. Or not the larva nerf, but with the volley nerf. You're not killing larvas that fast anymore, unless the raider just, like, throws or doesn't move. The Saibaman, if you die as the Saibaman, at least you guaranteed get your level 2. If you die with Spopovich, it is GG's. Now, let's take a look at Spopovich's abilities here. He has been nerfed, by the way. Like, Season 1, he was pretty solid. His Ki Blast really good. Crash Launcher sucks. You can snipe people with Crash Launcher, but only when people are not expecting it. Energy Drain. This ability can be used to snipe survivors from afar. And then for his active skills, he has Summon Yamu, which is okay. But the biggest thing about Spopovich, it isn't necessarily a buff to him, but it is a buff to the Buu Raider overall, is the fact that if Spopovich takes a lot of damage and you level up, Buu isn't going to carry on that damage. Buu will have a full health bar. So that, I wouldn't say is technically a buff to Spopovich, more so a buff to the Raider overall. I mean, if you want to be nice to Spopovich, you could put him in C, but he is nowhere higher than C. But I think he belongs in D, personally, because his Ki Blasts suck. His super attacks suck. Everything about Spopovich sucks, dude. He is a brute for punishment, and not because he can deal punishment, it's because he's going to be taking punishment quite often. So next up here, let's do level 2 Cell. Level 2 Cell. He's either C or low B, man. He's either C or low B. I almost feel like it's disrespect to level 1 Frieza and Guldo if I put Cell in their category. But if you think about it, he's probably better than Guldo, dude. Because, you know, he has an evasive, he has better Ki Blast, he has a stun, and he has Ki Sense. Larva Cell can also take it, or not Larva, level 2 Cell can also take a beating where Guldo cannot. I think it'd be a little ridiculous to say Guldo is better than level 2 Cell, but I think he is. But the fact that level 2 Cell is on the same tier as other level 1s, I think is very telling that Cell as a Raider is not that great, dude. He's not that great. Let's take a look at his kit really quick. So these are his active skills. Yes, Solar Flare. Solar Flare is solid. It's one of the only stuns in the game that the Raider has. Besides, like, I guess the new freeze abilities that Guldo has. Cell is the only Raider in the game that can hold the Raider in place. Actually, that's not true, because there's Goku gone. But it's one of the earliest iterations of it. After Image is a active skill, an evasive knockback skill. Well, it's an evasive, it's not knockback. That I feel I don't care for it, just because there are times as Raider when there's multiple survivors on the Super Time Machine, and the beauty of these knockback abilities, like Ki Explosion, like Explosive Wave, like Break Strike, like Angry Shout, is that it's an AoE move that when survivors are by it, it will down them if they're you know, they lost their barrier, or it'll at least knock them off the Super Time Machine. Cell is the only Raider in the game that does not have this AoE knockback ability. After Image is good in closing the distance, and it's pretty good to escape and to stall, but for scenarios where you need to defend the Super Time Machine, the only option that Cell has later on is Volley at level 3. For level 2, Energy Wave isn't defending the Super Time Machine. Special Beam Cannon isn't defending the Super Time Machine. His super attacks suck. Cell's super attacks suck. You're not typically going to land these raw. The only way you're going to be landing these is with Solar Flare. And the fact that a Raider needs to do a stun setup that survivors need to do, I think is very telling of how bad Cell is in the ground. I think it's very telling. I personally, I think they need to rework Cell, but I will get to that later in another video. Let's move on here. Let's do Recoome. Recoome, honestly, I think at worst he is high B, but I could put Recoome in A, dude. I think Recoome is great. I think the only thing that holds Recoome back, I'm gonna put him in A for now, but I do want to look at his abilities. I think the only move that holds Recoome back is the Eraser Gun. I think Eraser Gun sucks. It has a crazy long startup. Bro, I want you guys in the comments to let me know how many times you have landed this ability. Let me know. Let me know when you have ever landed Eraser Gun. It's not happening. His Mach attack is one of the best super attacks that a Raider has in the game. The fact that it can close the distance so well is fantastic. But yeah, in terms of Recoome's active skills, yes, the Scouter, which is really solid, allows you to find civilians and survivors pretty reliably. He has the Recoome Ultra Fighting Bomber. This knockback ability is actually pretty unique where it has multiple hits. So if survivors do stick around while this is going off, they're going to take additional damage. So it's pretty good for stalling. And he has the Recoome Kick. So not only does Recoome have the Recoome Mach attack, he also has the Recoome Kick that allow him to close the distance on survivors. Some of you guys don't know this, but if you actually dodge before the move finishes, you can avoid the end lag of this move. And Recoome he literally has level 3 Frieza's Ki Blast. So that alone, for a level 2, makes Recoome very, very cracked. And that's why I'm pretty confident that he deserves his spot in A. So let's continue here. Let's do level 2 Frieza. Level 2 Frieza, he's either high B or low A. What do you... High B or low A? I think I will put him in A for now, but then we'll look at his kit in a second. Alright, so I think I'm going to put Frieza in low A, just because I feel like his Ki Blasts are solid. They're basically Jason Birder's Ki Blast. It's so funny that the Ginyu Force really did borrow a lot of Ki Blasts from their Lord, right? Lord Frieza. Jason Birder literally had his Ki Blast, and in terms of his abilities, Frieza has solid super attacks. The Explosive Wave is actually pretty good for survivors when they're like grouped up or in a bunch. This is also good, like say if you still have the lock-on on a survivor and they go into a cave, you could pop Explosive Wave and it'll actually hit where they are. So it's very good for that reason. And if say, you know, God forbid, the survivors get all the keys planted and the Super Time Machine is up, you can use Explosive Wave to knock all the survivors off of the Super Time Machine, off of a down player, off of a key, off of a Dragon Pedestal, whatever you need to do. Full Power Energy Wave is okay. It's a snipe that Frieza has. It has a little AoE at the end. It's pretty solid, but his Ki Blasts are pretty good. And he has his knockback here, and he has the same active skills, which is Zarbon the Doria. So I think level 2 Frieza is fairly solid as well. But let's move on to our next Raider. So the next one that I want to talk about, I think, is Nappa. Now, Nappa, I think he belongs in A as well. I do think he belongs in A as well. Is he better? Is he better than level 2 Frieza? At the moment, I'm going to say no. Let me look at his kit. Let me look at his kit. So for Nappa, he has Plant Saibaman as an active skill, Scouter, Call Saibaman, and Ki Explosion. And in terms of his super attacks, he has Murder Grenade, Break Can. Oh, I forgot about. No. He's better than level 2 Frieza. He's better than level 2 Frieza. I am going to put him above level 2 Frieza. 100%. So Murder Grenade, I think, is really, really good. Just because, say if a survivor is in a cave, you could put this at the entrance and they're cucked. If the survivors are on a key, you could toss Murder Grenade and they're cucked. If the survivors are trying to use a pod, you could launch Murder Grenade and they're cucked. Murder Grenade is a really good super attack. Break Cannon is okay. It's a solid snipe, but it's not the greatest. Nappa has really good Ki Blast. They're very spammy. His melee is great. It's very spammable as well. And if the Saibaman lives, I feel like this is what makes Nappa's value really increase. The Call Saibaman ability is really, really good. It's good to find survivors, and especially it's great for fights, just because if you land this on a survivor, transformed or not, again, they'll be in that state where they can't use their active skills, they can't fight, they can only walk in this very slow animation. He has a knockback ability, and he can camp. Nappa is notorious for camping, bro. If you down a survivor, you could put down 2 Saibaman. You could put down 3. You could put down 4. If you know where the key is, you could put a couple Saibaman. If you know where the super time machine is going to spawn, you could put down a couple Saibaman. You can use the plat Saibaman in so many ways to find survivors and cuck them out of revives, out of keys, out of crates, out of soda machines. I think Nappa is a very solid level 2, one of the best in the game, and I do think he does belong in A, but keep in mind he does have a lower health pool than other level 2s, and he's one of the first raiders that introduced this, being the Vegeta raider. But I do think he is solid enough with his skills to put him in A. I think probably without the Saibaman call, you could argue level 2 Frieza is better, but I think with the Saibaman call, he is better than Frieza here. But with Recoome having the better Ki Blast, the better active skills, and that really good mock ability that allows him to charge and get through the map really, really fast, I think Recoome is probably going to keep his spot in the best of A. But let's go back to Cell here. So Cell is bad, dude. Level 3 Cell, I think, belongs in C. I'm sorry. But then again, is putting him behind Guldo kind of ridiculous? It is. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, isn't it? I don't know, bro. I mean, I'm very biased here, and I might move him around later. But the reason why I'm putting Cell so low is because he only has one good move. And you want to know what that one good move is? It's Full Power Energy Blast Volley. Gravity Impact is only good for sniping Dragon Pedestals and keys. That's all it's good for. You're not going to snipe rockets with this. You're not going to snipe people out of the sky with this. You're not going to be able to do it, bro. Full Power Energy Wave is the only crowd control option that Cell has. This can shred Dragon Changes if you get in the right positioning. His Ki Blast is very hit or miss. I think on PC, his Ki Blast, the Kamehamehas, can be very good because they can snipe better with the keyboard and mouse. They can be a lot more accurate with it. But the Kamehamehas are so easy to dodge, man. They're so it's a joke, bro. It is a joke. It is so easy to dodge. I can dodge the level 3 Ki Blast of this raider as a survivor just by rolling, bro. Just by freaking rolling. Like, it's that bad, dude. It's that bad. He still has Solar Flare. He still has Aftermath. The fact that he does not pick up any new active skills as a level 3 is an insult. It is an insult. He should get something new for a level 3, bro. He should. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Now, I just think that level 2 Cell, his Ki Blasts are so much better than level 3 Cells. And the only thing that level 2 Cell has going for, or level 3 Cell has going for him, is the volley, which is ridiculous. I mean, if I was being consistent, I would put Cell here. I probably would. But I hate this guy so much. I'm being biased. I'm just letting you guys, I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve. I'm being straight up. I'm putting Cell here because I think he deserves it. Realistically, if you wanted to be unbiased, you'd probably put level 3 Cell like here, probably. But I think, just because I think this raider is a joke, the level 3 Cell is a joke, I'm putting him in C. I am putting him in C. Now let's move on to level 2 Boo. Now Boo, I feel like you could argue is also in C or in B. I think I will put him in B. And I think I will... Do I put him above Cell? I think Boo's kit is better than Cell's. But the thing about Boo is that he's a better attacker. He's a much better attacker because of Go-Go Gum. Go-Go Gum is really, really good, dude. And like I explained before, you can spam Ki Blast. You can you can do a melee combo. You can land a super attack depending how close you are. Unfortunately, using Go-Go Gum into Innocence Cannon is not a true combo, depending on the distance that you are from the survivor that are in the Go-Go Gum. Angry Explosion, I will tell you right now, it is a waste of his super attack. The only instance of this super attack being useful is if the survivors are on the super time machine. That is the only scenario where Angry Explosion is useful. Angry Explosion, all it does is make you open to a super attack. At the end of Angry Explosion, survivors can just land super attacks on you and then you just take free damage, right? And people can actually dodge this super attack. If you are in the range, if you are in Boo's mouth, you can dodge, you can vanish while the move is going on and not take damage. That is stupid. That shouldn't be a thing. That should not happen, bro. They need to increase the range of this move. 2, they need to make it so it's undodgeable. You should not be able to dodge the super attack if you're in range of it. You should not be able to dodge it. I'm sorry. It is an AoE that is constantly in effect. Why are you able to dodge it? There should not be frames available where you can dodge this. I'm sorry. They need to increase the range and make it undodgeable. I'm sorry. This move is trash otherwise. It is trash otherwise. But Innocence Cannon, it's okay. It allows you to snipe. It's sometimes comboable with Go-Go Gum if you're close enough. His Ki Blast are very spammy. Angry Shout, it's solid. It is what it is. Go-Go Gum is very good, but in terms of his placement, like, no, he's better than level 2 Cell. What am I, high? He's better than level 2 Cell. I mean, the only reason why I was thinking level 2 Cell above Boo is because he has Ki Sense. That was the only reason, but I think I'm kind of on crack. I think I'm kind of on crack, and he is better than level 1 Frieza as well. He is. Let me do this. I'm gonna move them around. There we go. Hello? There we go. Okay. We might move that around later, but I'm happy with that for now. Let's do level 3 Frieza. Level 3 Frieza. Honestly, I think he's either high A or low S. And I think I'm gonna put him in low S purely because of his Ki Blast, dude. His Ki Blast are absolutely insane. They are so spammy. They deal so much damage. If like you are level 3 Frieza, you are not escaping his Ki Blast. You are not escaping it, bro. And the only thing that holds this Raider back is this super attack right here, Crazy Finger Shot. For some reason, his volley ability, I would say Full Power Energy Blast Volley on Cell is better than Crazy Finger Shot. I don't know why, but this super attack is the most inconsistent volley skill in the game. I do not know why. I will be in Frieza's mouth. I will give him a kiss, and I will be like dodging it, bro, like I'm Neo from the Matrix. I don't understand. Like, this move just does not land consistently enough. I do not know why, but luckily his other super attack, Death Beam, is insane. This ability comes out very, very quick. It is a crazy, crazy snipe. This is good against rockets. This is good against pretty much any evasive survivor ability that they have. And this is great in fights as well because it comes out so fast. Typically, survivors will not see it coming and they will not dodge it in time just because of how fast it comes out. And its cooldown is only 10 seconds. In terms of his active skills, he still keeps Zarbon and Dodoria, and he has Break Strike. But it's really his Ki Blast that make him such a threat and such an annoyance to deal with. But moving on here, let's look at the next Raider. So we pretty much just got 3s and 4s. So I think the one that people are most interested to see my placement with is Jason Birder. Now, I had some people thinking that they're S, or maybe even Z. I think Jason Birder are great. Do they belong in S? Do they belong in S? They're either high A or low S. This is tough. I think I will put them low S. I think I will put them low S. They're not better than level 3 Frieza. They're not better than level 3 Frieza. The reason why I say they're not better than level 3 Frieza is because their Ki Blasts are not as good, but all their super attacks are fantastic. Keep this in mind. Purple Comet Crash gives you invincibility frames and a lot of time to attack survivors. If people are in your face, you can pop this, and then you'll just deal damage for free and not take any damage. Crusher Ball at close range can absolutely crush, no pun intended, Dragon Changes. Shred them. Absolutely shred them. Now, what's the weaknesses? I think Let's Do This Birder is a kind of It's an active skill. Birder, for some reason, will go 2 feet and be like, yo, is that good enough? Is Is that good? I'm good here, right? Like, Burter goes 2 feet and like, I'm good, bro. I'm a little tired, bro. Like, for the fastest in the universe, Burter goes for 2 seconds and like in front of you, and his tracking is kind of trash. I have had Burter land for me like twice, dude. Burter does not land at all for me. He's probably good for like camping bodies, but that's pretty much it. He has Break Strike, and they have Scouter, which is solid. Now, I could see you argue them, putting them in A, but for me personally, I have been able to save games against sweaty pre-made survivors with Jason and Burter. Now, you could argue that's the fault of the survivors misplaying, but I do think Jason, Burter, and their kit allowed me to salvage a lot of games against pre-mades, and Recoome did not allow me to do that, and I do think for that reason, my personal reason, I do think I will put them in S, but I could totally, they're not lower than A. Like, if you want to put them here, I totally respect that. I think you could argue that, but for me personally, with my experience with them, I do think they belong in S. Keep in mind, they do get a melee bonus if Recoome is left alive, so they will deal additional melee damage if Recoome is alive. Now, you could argue that's not technically, looking at their base kit, but if we're gonna put Nappa up a couple pegs because of his Saibaman active skill, then we gotta be fair to Jason Burter for having the Recoome passive that allows you to get additional melee damage as well. Just to be fair. So let's move on to the final level 3 in the game, Vegeta. Now, I think Vegeta, unfortunately, is probably one of the worst level 3s in the game besides Cell. Unfortunately, I feel like you could put him, I could see you honestly argue high B. Genuinely, with the state Vegeta is in, I think you could argue high B, but I will put him low A. Now, the question is, where does he belong in B? But before we do that, let's look at his kit. So Vegeta does have a very solid kit. His super attacks are very good. His finish breaker is like volley for the survivor side on crack. If you get a survivor at close range with finish breaker, you will absolutely shred their dragon chains. Gallic Gun is okay. It is okay. It's a solid snipe. It's not the greatest, but it is a snipe, and it's good for interrupting survivors on keys, at dragon pedestals, or if they're reviving someone from a long distance. In terms of his active skills, I'm not even going to count Powerball because that's literally just grade ape, right? Scouter is a solid way to find survivors. Call Nappa is okay. It's good for the super time machine. It is good for the super time machine. If survivors are on it, you can call Nappa and he will do an AoE blast and not call them off. He has Explosive Wave, which is his version of a knockback ability. And the Powerball, if you guys do not know this, depending on whether or not if Nappa lives or dies, Powerball will actually have an increased or decreased cooldown. I don't know for sure if his health pool increases or decreases if Nappa is dead. I'm pretty sure his health pool stays the same. But the thing, unfortunately, that holds Vegeta back the most is his health pool. He is he's the squishiest. Actually, Jason Burter might be a little more squishy, but I find myself dying 10 times more with Vegeta than I do with Jason Burter. I do. I think Vegeta, his Ki Blasts are okay. They're okay, but they can be countered. That's the issue with them. They can be countered by Ball Blaze Ki Blast. So that is his issue. And you can counter them with Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Saiyan Trunks, and anybody that has the Ball Blaze Ki Blast. It's just the fact that with Vegeta, if you get caught like 2 to 3 times, you're probably dead, bro. You're probably dead. And for that, for level 3, that's not good. That's not good. Now, Jason Burter have about the same health pool, either more or less. But the thing is, if you die with them, you're guaranteed to get the level 4. With Vegeta, that's not the case. Now, he's definitely better than level 2 Frieza. Is he better than Nappa? The fact that I even have to think about it is pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. His melee is very good. Say if you get a survivor knocked before they transform, like if they're in the red state with their barrier down, if you take them out with the melee and you do the final kick, you'll kill them. So that is pretty good. This is tough. I'm going to actually refer to the chat, see what they think. This is tough for me. Top of A, Vegeta's not A. Oh no, Vegeta, I thought you meant S. Vegeta's not S. Top of A, 100% better than Nappa. I don't think it's that clear cut though, boys. By far, I don't think it's that clear cut. Top of A. Better than Nappa. Dude, I think Recoome is better than Vegeta, bro. I really do think. Recoome... He's the only raider with an extra melee attack. Vegeta clears Nappa and Recoome. I don't think he clears, bro. Vegeta's better than Nappa, hands down. Recoome bodied that Vegeta. I will put Vegeta above Nappa, but I don't know if I will put him above Recoome. Alright, I just want to say that I think Recoome is better than Vegeta, but I am a man of the people. I will put Vegeta above Recoome, just for the chat. But personally, I think Recoome is better, but I will put Vegeta ahead of him. But I personally think Recoome is better. But I am a man of the people. So now let's move on. Let's move on to the level 4s. So for level 4s, I think the best level 4 in the game... Well, first off, I think the worst level 4 in the game is Kid Buu. The worst level 4 in the game is Kid Buu. It's hard to say if Kid Buu is worse than... Because, like, I barely play Kid Buu. Like, how often do you guys play Kid Buu? Because it's like, Super Buu is so strong and so good, you typically finish games off with him, or by the time you get Kid Buu, the game is practically over. There's probably like 2 or 3 people left up anyway. You could probably put him low S, dude. You could probably put him low S, but let's take a look at his kit. Actually, nah. I gotta move him up a little bit, bro, because of Assault Rain, dude. You gotta put respect on Assault Rain's name. Against skilled survivors, they typically will not be down by this, but the fact that Assault Rain has team wiping potential, the only super attack in the game that has team wiping potential, I think makes him deserve the spot in S. Vanishing Ball is kind of whatever. It comes out very quick. It's kind of whatever. His Ki Blasts suck. They're very big, but they come out very slow. And he has the same moveset as Super Buu. His moveset from Super Buu is so good. They basically kept it the same. I don't think I could sleep at night if I put him below Jason Birder. I'll leave him there for now. I don't know. It feels really weird, dude. Think about that. We're putting Jason Birder over Kid Buu. Think about that. Is that weird? Is that weird? That's kind of weird, man. I don't know. You think he's better than Frieza? I'm going to put him above Jason Birder, but I don't know if he's better than level 3 Frieza. Level 3 Frieza's Ki Blast, I think, carry him alone. But let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. Monkey. Monkey, I think I will put in Z. I think I will put in Z. But I will put him below. Is he above Super Buu? Let's look at his kit. Let's look at his kit. Let's look at his kit. So let's take a look at Uga Uga here. So Super or A Vegeta, he has Super Mouth Cannon. He has Running Won't Save You, which is the Stomp ability. So the Stomp is one of the strongest super attacks that the Raider has in the game. You can dodge this super attack, but the timing is pretty precise. It is difficult to do. I have pulled it off in a couple of games, but even when I have dodged it, I've still lost. So even if you dodge this super attack, it does not mean victory. But the thing about Super Mouth Cannon, it is the only good AoE super attack that works like this in the game. Frieza sucks. It takes way too long to come off. It completely disorients you because it takes the camera away from you for so long. Cell sucks as well. his perfect Kamehameha. He is the only good version of this super attack. It comes out very fast, has a very short startup. So I think 8 Vegeta does belong in S. In terms, you know what? It's not, because both of these, I will say this. I have killed about the same amount of Super Boos and 8 Vegetas. It is about the same, boys. I think for me personally, this is tough. I know a lot of you guys are going to say 8 Vegeta is better than Super Boo. I know a lot of you guys are going to say that. But I feel like in my heart of hearts, I think I have won more games against 8 Vegetas. Actually, no, have I? It's about the same. Boys, they're interchangeable. They're interchangeable, bro. I'm sorry. You like, if one is better than the other, it's like by this much. I'll put 8 because I know you guys are gonna freak out. But they're very close. They're very, very close. All right, so moving on. Honestly, I feel like you could put all the level 4s in S. Or not in S, in Z. Actually, yeah, you could put them all in Z. You really could. But let's look at them and then we'll determine the order of them, right? Let's determine the order of them. So let's do Ginyu first. So for Ginyu, he has the Scouter, he has Break Strike, and he has the only active skill for Raider in the game that actually applies buffs. So you will increase your damage with this skill, you will increase your speed with this skill, and it actually gives you some iframes. It does give you some iframes, and he does have strong jersey. Similar to Recoome, if you cancel this at the end before it finishes, you can get rid of the end lag. And his super attacks, Milky Cannon with Jason Birder is one of the strongest super attacks, and it has a 10-second cooldown. A 10-second cooldown. Are you kidding me? This shreds level 4s, bro, and it is so difficult to dodge. The only way you dodge this is with grapple, or like IT or barrier or something. It is absolutely insane. And if you pop this on a Super Time Machine, it has an AoE effect with Jason Birder. With it alone, it is still solid, but with Jason Birder, it's cracked. And obviously, Body Change has the potential to absolutely destroy the hopes and dreams of the Survivor team. Because if you land this on a level 4, they become a level 1. If you land this on a level 3, they become a level 1. And if you land it, they get instantly down, and they only have 15 seconds to be res. So typically, if you land Body Change, they're dead. So Body Change alone, Milky Cannon alone, make this Raider broken. But Ginyu has some of the best Ki Blasts in the game as well. They're so difficult to dodge. They can be slightly countered, but his Shotgun Blast Ki Blast, I think he might have the best Ki Blast in the game. Personally, I really do. So in terms of his placement, is he better than Super Boo? I think low-key he is, but I think it is the health pool. The health pool that keeps Super Boo above him. But if you wanted to do this, I could totally get it. I would totally understand it. Because, honestly, I mean, I have won more games against Ginyu than I have against Super Boo, but that's typically not a fault of Ginyu himself. It's mainly just because Ginyu comes out in the fight so late, either because we stole Jason Birder or Recoome on the STM and they leveled up really slow. It's not really a fault of Ginyu, but I think I will keep Ginyu here. Let's look at Cell. So Cell is one of the oldest level 4s in the game, and it kind of shows just because his super attacks are probably the worst super attacks in the game for a Raider. Perfect Kamehameha. The only way you are landing this on a Survivor is if you pop Key Detection. If you pop Key Detection and you do Perfect Kamehameha, you have a chance to land this super attack. Otherwise, I don't think you're going to be able to do it. I don't think you're going to be able to do it. All Clear is literally Super Electric Strike, but I guess the better version now since Super Electric Strike sucks. It's okay. It comes out very fast. It has a very wide radius, but you can dodge this. It's not impossible. It's okay. But his Ki Blast, I think, is what makes him really, really strong. They're very spammy. incredibly spammy. And what pisses me off about them the most is the fact that they have like this AoE explosion thing and you can't fucking see shit. Well, like if Cell is spamming them with you, you're like, what the fuck? Like, wait, what is going on? You get dazed, bro, because they have like this fog effect after they explode and it's so annoying. But in terms of his active skills, like Cell, they don't give him shit, dude. They do not give him shit. The only thing new that they give him is Energy Barrier. I wonder if a barrier will work. Is the only thing they give him. And I feel like 99% of the players that get level 4 Cell don't even know this fucking active skill exists. It's okay, and technically it's a good active. It's the only active that gives Cell an AoE that can knock survivors off of the STM. But typically, if you get levels 4 Cell, you probably won the match anyway, unless the Super Time Machine is cooking. But I have killed a couple level 4 Cells. I think in terms of his placement, I think he's probably the bottom of the barrel of level 4s, but he's not terrible. He's not terrible. Let's move on. I mean, Frieza's the last one, right? So let's talk about Frieza. Let's talk about Frieza as our final level 4 here. So Frieza, his Ki Blast, honestly, I might have to move around because this planet will die sucks, and he doesn't have the plus with Cell where you can use Ki Sense to know where survivors are when they land. What sucks about this super attack, I don't know why they give this 120-second cooldown like it's that fucking good, because it's not. It's trash. The camera, they just fucking like do this to you, and then you're like, well, what the? He's like, I'll destroy you all. And then like, bro, by the time you regain control of the camera, you don't know where the fuck the survivors went. So then you're just sitting here with this big ass fucking ball and you're like, well, fuck. What the hell do I do this? I guess I gotta just throw it wherever the fuck. So you throw it and then you miss and you just waste time. The only time this is useful is to like, I don't know, like create a fire explosion on like the STM so they can't work on the STM for a little bit. That's like the only usage this move has. Or if you throw it on like supplies or some shit, I guess. But he does have Death Slash, which I think is very, very good. It's not the greatest to use in the air just because you can dodge it, but the little flame that spawns at the end of it is perfect for guarding the Super Time Machine, supplies, down survivors, stuff like that. It is perfect for that situation. Or even keys, right? If you get level 4 that early. His Ki Blasts are good, do not get me wrong, but if for the small percentage of players that do equip Unconscious Control, you can actually dodge level 4 Frieza's discs with Unconscious Control. So with that in mind, it's really what do you value more? What do you value more? Do you value level 4 Frieza's super attack, the fire wave, or do you value the Ki Blast? If you value the Ki Blast, I think you would put Cell above Frieza, because I do think Cell's Ki Blasts are better than Frieza's. But if you value the super attack, Zarbon and Midoriya, I think you would put Frieza above. But personally, I think Cell's Ki Blast give him the edge, man. Although his super attacks suck, I really do think... Well, then again, it's not because he doesn't have an AoE knockback besides energy, the barrier, but nobody uses it. These guys are interchangeable, I feel like, because Cell's Ki Blasts are better, but I think Frieza's moves are a little bit better besides the Ki Blast. I'm gonna see what the chat is saying here. What are you guys saying? Frieza's better? The way he's still doing this tier list? Bro, the fucking transfer tier list was like 40 minutes. What do you expect? Frieza's better? Frieza clears. You can get level 4 Frieza more often. I guess that's true. Alright, I'll put Frieza ahead. I don't think Kid Buu needs to be... Yeah, low-key, Kid Buu doesn't need to be ranked because you fucking don't... You never play as him. Alright, boys. I think this is the tier list. I'm pretty happy with this. Obviously, I'm being harsh with level 3 Cell. I mean, realistically, you could probably put Guldo here, level 2 Cell in here, and then you would have, like, realistically, if you wanted to be, like, more consistent, you could do something like this. But I just fucking hate level 3 Cell, and I think he deserves to be NC because he's a shitter. But realistically, I think that's how it would work. But, in comparison to my previous list, this is what it looked like. Yeah, I have level 1 and level 2 Frieza pretty low. And then level 3's... I leveled... interesting. A woman hater, bug tier. Interesting. Yeah, so I did have Monkey above Super Buu. Yeah, I did have him above him. Alright, I mean, I feel like my tier list has improved. I don't know why I had Saibaman that hard. I don't know why I had Saibaman that high up. That was kind of troll. That was pretty troll. I will admit that. But yeah, boys, this is the tier list. Let me know how much it has improved. Let me know if I was trolling. Let me know if you would move, if certain raiders belong in specific tiers. If you would change the order of certain tiers. I'll, you know, like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the Ironcane for more tier lists like these, showcases, updates, leaks, funny moments, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. Take care.